how Department of Education spending has changed in recent years. Billions of dollars gross program costs in 22, $600 billion. What are we doing?
Nothing.
What are we doing here?
Is that how much they're giving them a year? It's 600 billion?
That's what they're spending.
A year.
Gross program costs and net costs of operations. So the gross program costs, I'm going to guess, is their overall budget projection for program X. And then net cost is what it actually ended up costing.
So basically in the past 10 years, we've probably rolled through $3 or $4 trillion.
Well, look at that. You're a money guy. What do you see there? Look at the
I can't see it. You're not sharing the screen.
I am not sharing the screen. Why am I not sharing the screen? Because I'm a dumbass like that. And we have.
Oh my God. Look at that.
Look at this, though. Look at this. Now, what do you notice about the gross cost and the net cost there? See that gap? They're almost all identical. You know what that tells me?
They've been cutting some off the top.
Somebody's doing a little skimming.
Yeah, I would say more than a little skimming.
Yeah, that's a healthy skim. That looks to me to be about a 12% skim.
Yep,
somewhere thereabouts.
And
anywhere between like an 8 and 12% skim.
Yeah, this is insane. And what year does that go back all the way to? What year?
2015 through 2024.
And how much was it in 2015? 100 billion?
$100 billion. That's what the Department of Education with 4,000 employees was doing. They're just moving money around.
Yeah, I know.
What sort of grants does the Education Department give out? $18.8 billion for schools with large numbers of poor, neglected, delinquent, or other educationally disadvantaged schools, like inner city schools, perhaps.
Correct.
That have failed completely. So where did that $18.8 billion go? 15.5 billion
in fountains.
Yeah. Okay, this one here, 15.5 billion for special education programs for students with disabilities. Ballpark me what you think the number of real actual special education students would be as a percentage of the whole student body.
6%.
I don't think so. I wouldn't give it 6%. I'd say between 2 and 4%.
Well, in today's day and age where you have all of the people getting vaxxed, Asperger's, people on the spectrum, I would say it's 5 to 6% now. It was probably, 1-2% when you and I were back in school back in the day, but it has gone up.
Okay. All right. I can see your argument there.
Mm-hmm.
2.2 billion for career, technical, and adult education. Where is that being spent? This one, I like this one. 5.5 billion for a wide variety of school improvement efforts, such as making teachers more effective, funding high quality after school programs, and making better use of classroom technology. How is any of that at all the purview of the federal government?
It should not be, to be honest with you. In my opinion, the Department of Education at the federal level should be maybe 2, 3, 4 dozen people, and all they do is crunch numbers.
Yeah.
And say, yes, Michigan State, or,
I could accept an office where they crunched numbers and showed on a national level what was going on. Okay, I'll buy that.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
That's a reasonable use.
Now that the Department of Education is getting nullified, you're going to start seeing the states start to get nuked for wasting their tax dollars as well.
I don't care.
I don't care either. I want to see them go up.
I want that to happen.
Listen,
I want that to happen.
I want to hear a cacophony symphony of assholes slamming shut when people start saying, wait a minute, something ain't right here. Where the fuck is all this money going? Wow.
Look, I am to the point right now where I want to see all of the fat, blue-haired, multi-sexual, Bolshevik cat lady box wine drinkers bulldozed into a trench as they shriek and howl.
Yes. I
I don't really mean that, FBI special agents frickin' frack, but let's just say I wouldn't cry if such an event took place.
Well, let's be honest. This is a comedy show, though we do cover, pretty significant topics.
Yeah.
We try to do it in a comedic light.
Bulldozing box wine cat ladies could be really amusing. That's a good comic short there somewhere. Somebody should do a cartoon of that.
It's kind of like the new groom should pick out his refrigerator box he's going to live in 7 to 10 years after he decides to sign up for his sexecution.
That's good stuff. So, breakdown of the education department's grants for colleges in the U.S. You can see that this is in millions of dollars. So this isn't in millions of dollars; it's in trillions or billions of dollars. It's $34 million. What is this all? What is it? What is it doing, and where is it going?
Yeah.
So, Department of Education doesn't do anything at all for education. All it does is funnel money. That's it.
So, yeah, it produces a whole bunch of I&I people.
Bottom chart. Among the 100 largest systems by enrollment, Detroit, Michigan.
Wow.
And Detroit has the worst schools.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's a fucking nightmare, dude. Even when Pop and I were in 40 years ago when we were in school, they weren't bad, but you could tell that somebody had hit the flusher and the water was starting to go around.
Well, like for instance, Cooley High School in Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
I believe they shut them down in 85?
Cooley's gone. Cass is gone.
No, I know, but my mother graduated from Cooley High School. My grandmother worked there as a teacher. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to remember what year Cooley High School closed down. I remember I was in the car and my mom drove by the high school. She was like in tears because they were shutting it down.
Yeah.
But it was such a shithole. I'm like, do we need to be driving through here? You actually went to high school in this shithole? Oh my God.
No, it was a nice neighborhood at the time.
Well, they used to call Detroit the Paris of the West.
Yes. Detroit was called the Paris of the West.
Yes. And I believe the Detroit School District back in 1962 was like in the top 20 of the country.
Yep.
All right, keep going.
I wonder what happened.
The Detroit riots and the white flight.
Did it just get dark in here?
And then you had Mayor Coleman Young drive out big business.
Yeah. So fewer college students are receiving federal aid than in fiscal year 2017. Yeah, people are starting to go, fuck college, I'm going into the trades. I know a couple of welders already. In the last couple of years, I have met several young kids that are like, I'm not going to college, I'm going to welding school.
You can go and become an electrician for
You're making money hand over fist. They need people now.
But the thing is you can go through a 2-year program.
Yep.
Some of them are as little as 18 grand, $9,000 a year, up to like $36,000 a year, just here in Michigan alone.
Yeah.
And you walk out of there, you're making 60, 65 grand a year if you're halfway decent at your job.
Look, I can tell you right now, especially with a lot of the illegals on the run, being chased out of the country, if you are young, one of the things you should be considering at this time is going into the trades, because you're going to be needed in the trades. We need people in the trades, especially young people who are starting out. Yes, you start out slogging timber and throwing shingles up on a roof. Okay.
It's called paying your dues.
That's called paying your dues. It's called making your bones.
Yes.
Okay. But then you're making real money and you can buy. I know an 18-year-old girl who went and got her welding certificate. She got her welding certificate, got a job as a welder. She was making 60 plus a year already at 19 years old after a year on the job, right? And then she lived with her parents for like 2-3 years, and now she's buying a house at like 24 years old.
Awesome. Yep.
And she's never going to be out of work.
And here's the thing.
Shit needs to be welded. I'm here to tell you.
if you want to go to college later on,
Yeah.
you work in the trades,
Mhm.
pay off your debts or whatever, get a
Yeah.
house, get everything rolling. Then you can go to night school
Yep.
and get your MBA, Master's in Business Administration, and start your own corporation that
Yep.
hires electricians or whatever.
I know a guy down in Ohio who pretty much has done that. He's got his own corporation now. Guy's never been to college. He was a mortarman in Second Bat.
Mortar maggot.
He was a fucking mortar guy in Second Bat.
That's
And
what we
he's
call
got
them.
his own construction company on Mortar Maggots.
Yeah.
That's nice.
We need the mortar maggots up here.
Go get Mortar Maggots.
Because we had to carry all their ammo. We called them maggots. You fucking maggot.
He was a 120 gunner, so you weren't carrying his ammo.
No, that was rolling around in a Jeep or something.
Right, exactly. Anyway, yeah, he started his own company. He's never went to college or anything like that. Now he's got a construction company because he went into trade schools and now he's making money fucking hand over fist. Especially now, like I said, that the illegals are being chased out. There's huge openings in the trades. Go become a framer. Go become an electrician. Go become a welder. Go, plumbing, all of that stuff. Because those job openings are now there.
Yep.
I've driven by a dozen job sites in the last couple of days where there's nobody on the job sites.
Well, and listen, this is off topic.
Yeah.
But if you are a company who's hired a bunch of illegal aliens, then
You're a shitbag.
You need to get hammered.
You're a shitbag. I don't care how nice of a guy you are. You are a shitbag. You are taking a job away from a young American who needs that first job and is willing to make his bones. And there's 10 more kids behind him. So as he moves up, you will always have those workers. We were always there.
But listen, I mean, earning your bones in the trades is probably not as difficult as earning your bones as a straight leg infantry guy digging fighting positions all the time. That sucks. And there's really no marketable skill in the outside world for infantry guy.
No, there really is not.
No.
There really isn't. Surprisingly, there are very few marketable skills available for tactical SIGINT guys too, because setting up antennas in the woods and knowing how to measure for an ELF signal are not very useful in the civilian world, and I don't know why. I know how to skip a signal across the ionosphere. That's no good to me. I can't do anything with that. I'm sorry.
Be on your way.
Yeah, be on your way. It's neat. It's cool. I'd love to hear the stories, but I don't have a job for you. So anyway, fewer U.S. college students. Again, that's the trade thing. Total federal aid for U.S. college students has ticked up in recent years. Okay, yeah, it came back after this was the lockdowns here, 2020 to 2022. But this is all this money going everywhere. Let's come over to here.
I mean, let's ask the basic questions here.
Ask the basic questions.
Really think this is going to go on forever? If you thought that this endless stream of money was going to keep going on and you never ever saw any improvements,
yes, of course they did.
You're a fucking moron.
Yes, of course they did. Bureaucrats have always been this way. This dates back thousands of years, and I mean like 4,000 years. The Babylonians had records of bureaucrats who were bureaucrating.
Yep.
Bureaucrat's going to bureaucrat, baby. That's just what they do. and thus has it ever been. Greece had tons of problems with bureaucrats.
Yeah.
Rome had tons of problems with bureaucrats. It has always been this way.
But every now and again, they just wiped them all out and started over, right?
Right. And that could be something that we might maybe seriously want to consider.
Yeah. And of
I
course,
mean, go
to jail kind of
way. FBI special agents freaking frag. Sit back down with your granola bars in despair. We're not actually talking about killing anybody. Okay, we're just saying the bureaucrats need to go. It's true. You've got some cubicle Nancy who's over there fucking smashed out of her fucking brain on freaking box wine and stinking of cat litter who makes your life hell every morning when you walk into the building. Okay, you know that those bureaucrats are there and you hate them.
Granola bars and despair.
That's FBI agents for you, though.
Oh my God, hang on, I'm gonna write that down. That's funny.
The firm that I worked at, the law firm that I worked at up until last year, there was a whole floor of FBI below us, and whenever I was in the elevator, I would taunt them. I would just absolutely give them endless shit. I'm like, you guys, they would talk about mission with me standing in the elevator, and I'd look at them and I'd pull out my coin and I'm like, thank you, I now know everything about this. And then
Well, it wasn't just FBI. I believe there was DEA, ATF.
Yes.
It was like a whole floor of federal agents.
It was a task force.
Yeah.
It was the high intensity drug trafficking task force.
Yeah,
The hideout. They call it the hideout. Anyway, that was fun to torment them, and I took great pleasure in laughing at them and making fun of them.
Torment.
You have to torment feds. Whenever you have the opportunity, you should torment a fed.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.